Trae Young is the most disrespected player in the NBA. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. Now, let's get directly into it. There was a report that just came out that essentially said sources inside the league GMs would rather trade for Darius Garland than Trae Young. I think that is the most just absurd thing that I've ever heard on this planet. And in this article, I'm just going to flash this article up for you to prove I did not make this up. Essentially, in this article, they say the long-held belief around the league is that the Hawks would prefer to trade Trae Young because of their current roster, but I'll tell you about that later. However, other teams appear to be hesitant to acquire the three-time All-Star because of his ball dominance, size, and lack of defense. Per Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports, if Cleveland Cavaliers guard Darius Garland becomes available, NBA teams would rather make a move for him than Trae Young. That is insane. There is no there's no stat that Darius Garland is better than Trae Young in. There is nothing really out there in the game of the NBA that Darius Garland is better than Trae Young. And the fact that these teams would rather trade for Darius Garland than Trae Young is absurd. Well, people can say, oh, Darius Garland's better than Trae Young at defense. Is he really? And if so, who cares? Trae Young is a 3-time All-Star. Really should be a 4 or 5-time All-Star, but people are disrespecting him like they are in this article. And the fact of the matter is some NBA teams will prioritize signing Darius Garland, no disrespect, he's a good player, over Trae Young is the reason why there's a lot of NBA teams who suck today right now. Now, if you want to look at stats, say I'm just making things up, Trae Young averaged 25 plus points last year. He was a 25 and 10 guy. He averaged 3 rebounds. And another stat, which is insane, that a lot of people don't talk about, he averaged a steal a game. He shot 44% from the field, 35% from 3. And we're talking about trading for another guy? And let me read Darius Garland's stats, just to make it fair, just so you can know I'm comparing apples to apples. Darius Garland, last year, he averaged 18 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. So not only does he average 7 points less than Trae Young, he averages 4 assists less than Trae Young. He has the same amount of steals and same amount of rebounds. And this is arguably one of his better seasons. This disrespect for Trae Young is going to have to stop. Because I guarantee you, if you put Trae Young on the Cleveland Cavaliers this year, they'll make it out of the second round. And a lot of people want to put the Cleveland Cavaliers loss on some guys not playing. They want to put it on Donovan Mitchell not wanting to be there. Darius Garland has been there the whole time. And not only were they bounced out by the Hawks 2 years ago, or was that last year? They cannot make it past the second round. And you want to know the reason of that? Darius Garland. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's true. When it comes to playoffs, he does not play the same. Let's just say that. And the fact that some teams, you know what, I'm guessing it was like the Spurs that basically said that. I'm guessing it was like Orlando. You telling me that the Spurs will be better than Darius Garland than with Trae Young? Come on now. That is truly disrespectful. Because Trae Young is actually a good player. And for teams to come out and say, oh, we would rather have Darius Garland, that means your team is going to suck. Because at the end of the day, if you want to win games in the NBA, you got to have the best players playing their best. And Trae Young, despite his size, is one of the best players in the league. He's easily the top 4 point guards in the Eastern Conference. And you can argue with me, but name 4 that's better than him. Now, in regards, there's going to be a lot of hate in the comments, I guarantee it. And I'm heated right now. And I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan, so I'm a little bit biased. But people may ask, why? Why do you like Trae Young so much? Aren't you guys going to trade him? And I think Atlanta is in a unique situation, probably in the most unique situation, where they have 2 very good point guards on their team. And despite them having 2 point guards and them trying to work it out, it's just not. And I think for the team moving forward for Atlanta Hawks, they have to trade one of the other. Would I like Trae Young to stay? Yes. But people are saying DeJounte may be a better fit defensively for the Hawks, and we can utilize Trae Young to get good players back. And I'm fine with that. People also say the other side. Trae Young is a superstar, and we can use DeJounte to get good players back. And I'm fine with that. But Trae Young should not be on the same level as Darius Garland. And whoever said that is delusional. I guarantee you put Trae Young on Orlando, they make it out of the first round. I'm just saying. Trae Young on the Washington team, they're a better team. You put Trae Young on whoever, I know this may be the Phoenix Suns, I guarantee they'll still be playing. You put Trae Young on the Lakers, I guarantee they'll still be playing. You put Darius Garland on all those teams, who knows? I guarantee Trae Young will take a team farther than Darius Garland will. And it's been proven. Trae Young has taken a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. What has Darius Garland done? That's all I'm saying. And the fact that we prioritize defense over talent, offensive talent, is just blasphemy. Trae Young is a better player than this. He is a perennial all-star. And the fact that we're saying, hey, we would probably take the 5th to 8th best guard, 8th best guard maybe, point guard, over Trae Young is delusional. One more point I want to make, and then I'm done. Who is the best player on the Atlanta Hawks? Majority of people will say Trae Young, despite what you say. Who's the best player on Cleveland? 99% of people would say Darius Garland is not the best player on their team. Some may argue he's the 3rd best player on the team, but that's neither here nor there. Why would you pass on a guy for another guy who's not even the best player on the team? Now I'm done with my rant, but we need to put some more respect on Trae Young's name. And I understand he is a defensive liability, but that should not overweigh his ability to not only make his teammates better, his ability to create, and his ability to score the basketball. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.